Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors, including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife. We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised. Now enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show, when there are more than 400 boats in Ocean City, all fishing for a chance at taking home some of the $8.5 million in prize money, it must be time for the White Marlin Open. It's the 49th year of the storied tournament, and we hit the ocean to see if there are any fish worthy of the prize.
Yeah, the 290-something boats, so very, very slow.
And back on land, there's plenty of action at the scales. With lead changes throughout the week, you never know what's coming next. Plus, the sights and sounds that make the White Marlin Open a one-of-a-kind event. Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
It's a bulldog fight. That's why we come out here.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Andrew Tawes and Chopper Chuck Regner.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Andrew Tawes.
And I'm Chopper Chuck Regner. And well, Andrew, this week all eyes are on Ocean City, Maryland for the 49th annual White Marlin Open.
Yes, they are, Chuck, and with a single billfish potentially being worth more than half of that $8.6 million in prize money. Well, that's why it's known as the largest and richest billfish tournament in the world. Anglers and crew members begin making their way down the docks in Sunset Marina as last-minute preps are made for the first day of fishing. Almost 300 boats are hitting the high seas today, but as we will later find out, billfish have been hard to come by lately.
One touch only. When you got it, it's yours.
Once again, we're back on board the Marlin, and Captain Mark Hoos is planning to fish the Washington Canyon. Excitement levels are high every morning a boat heads out, but day one always feels different. The wonder of what waits in the canyons has everyone's adrenaline up, and not even a stiff breeze can knock it down. Once 8 a.m. hits, mates Jake and Jax get the lines in the water. Then the waiting game begins.
Very, very slow. My gosh, I've never seen it. Been doing this a long time, over 30 years, and never, ever seen it this slow. I don't believe there's probably more than a dozen fish caught. I think there's 290-some boats fishing today. No blue marlins boated, no white marlins boated.
Unfortunately, it becomes a full day of waiting with not a single bite for the crew of the Marlin.
Just not seeing a whole lot of anything. It's about the same water all up and down the line. Just not a lot of fishing in right now, so we'll be back at it again, probably not till Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll see what we can do.
Day 2 of fishing on the Marlin and day 4 of the tournament begins with considerably less excitement, thanks to the previous day's poor fishing despite the number of boats out. There's 352 fishing today, but Captain Mark is not optimistic.
It's just the water's not very good. It's the same water from, clean up from the Wilmington, clean down to the Norfolk. It's just that green water. It's all blended. It's the same in 50 fathoms as it is at 150 fathoms as it is at 550 fathoms. So it's just all blended up. It's real hot. It's just really not much to it. A lot of bait out there. There just seems to be not a lot of fish, out here this year. So it can all change overnight. You know how that goes. You get here today, gone tomorrow. Well, sometimes they show back up. So hopefully today will be the day. Double fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
What happens is that 90 minutes into fishing, the Marlin gets her first bite of the tournament.
Come on, hurry! Come on! Stretch it. As you go back,
This white marlin is not big enough for the tape measure, but as slow as it's been, it's a great feeling to finally get a fish on the line.
First fish, we got the skunk smell off now. Now we just got to find his brother. Older brother. It's Grandpa. We'll take that too.
A couple hours later, another fish is on. Unfortunately, it's of no relation to a white marlin. The guys have dinner for the evening, and after 2 days of fishing, that and a white marlin release is all they've got.
This should be our primo time of the year for white marlin here in Ocean City. And unfortunately, you see what we have. It's not a lot going on. I'm sure this will go down in the record books as probably the slowest white marlin in history, as far as numbers of fish.
The slow days of fishing make it even sweeter to raise that flag. As everyone knows, it only takes that one fish, and with the way the 49th Annual White Marlin Open is shaping up, the final days could be full of fireworks. Coming up next, you never know what to expect at the scales during the White Marlin Open. But first, did you know? The average white marlin weighs around 60 pounds, with 70 pounds being the minimum weight to qualify for the White Marlin Open. How much did the record white marlin for the state of Maryland weigh? The answer when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
Did you know? The Maryland state record white marlin was caught in August of 1980 in Poor Man's Canyon, and the fish weighed in at 135 pounds.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
So, a full behind-the-scenes disclosure here. We're actually taping this on the last day of the White Marlin Open, and we don't even know who's going to win this thing yet. But we do know one thing, that at the weigh-in scales at the Harbor Island Marina, anything can happen. It's going to be a tuna battle to start this 49th edition of the White Marlin Open, and the first fish of note is going to be this 189.5-pound big eye brought in by the Right Bite out of Brick, New Jersey.
189.5 pounds.
But so far, the only billfish we're seeing are on Alex's hat. That is, until day 4. Flying the blue marlin flag is the Cabana out of Fenwick Island, Delaware. And they've got a beast of a blue.
511 pounds. Two more and Bill Brick in Spring, Maryland.
We got really lucky at a time where nothing was happening for us the last 2 days.
But not long after, the C- student from Houston, Texas enters the lagoon flying a white marlin flag. Will this be our first qualifier?
We need 70 pounds to qualify. Worth about $2.8 million right now.
Other notable fish include this 59.5-pound first-place dolphin brought in by the Irene out of Manteo, South Carolina, worth $24 grand. And in the small boat category, the Commodus out of Pasadena, Maryland, brings in the last fish of the night, which turns out to be a huge big eye. Right now, that fish is worth a little over 300 grand. All right, right, it's day 5 of the tournament, last day. Who knows what we're going to see? And that question is going to be answered early when the Billfisher, a local boat from right here in Ocean City, cruises into the lagoon, and yes, sir, she's flying the white Marlin colors.
Boat the Billfisher. 71 currently in first. We need 70 to qualify for any prize money.
It's pretty good. And the crowd is incredibly quiet. Unbelievable. You can hear a fish drop. If this holds, Jeremy Duffy and crew would win a world record payout for a single fish, over $4 million.
This one came up, fought forever. We kept looking at it, we weren't sure. We finally gaffed it, measured it, 71 inches, whatever. I take a shot, it looked fit, and we just sprayed it for 70 pounds. Now we got 77. 77.5 pound white Marlin. Right now, worth about $4.4 million. My family and I had the fortune to be able to tour the Duffy Boat Works this week, and it's quite an operation, and it's pretty darn cool that it's right here in Ocean City, you know, about a half a mile off of coastal Route 50 on 611, and they're building some of the best boats around.
Duffy Boat Works is building not only the best boats, but the luckiest too, because even though we'll see some sizable fish weighed in the closing hours, in this year of the Tough Bite, nothing is going to beat that 77.5 pounder. So Jeremy Duffy and the crew of the Billfisher will be this year's White Marlin Open winners. And with darkness descending and all boats in, that will be the end of our tale.
Coming up next, the White Marlin Open offers a spectacle like no other.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Well, Andrew, we know that the White Marlin Open is a spectacle full of sights and sounds that you're not going to see at any other event on Delmarva. And it begins very early in the morning at the Ocean City Inlet, where folks have no problem getting up early to watch the boat parade. You guys ever been out here for this?
No.
What do you think?
It's pretty cool.
Should expect to see this many boats out here?
I figured there'd be a good amount today.
Hey, have you ever been here before for this event?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, what do you like about coming out here this early in the morning?
Watching my son's boat go out.
Oh, what's
No, I enjoy it all. It's a lot of fun. The people are friendly. Nice walk down the boardwalk this time of morning. Perfect day. Perfect day.
So what possessed you to get up and come down here at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch this?
Because we've never done it before. Had to be here to experience it once, right?
And it continues into the evening as there is work to be done and also some fun to be had.
So with the dock crew here, White Marlin Open's kind of our big tournament around here. It's kind of fun. We fit boats in everywhere we can. Try to help them when they back in, give them fuel, ice, power, anything else.
Just remember, all you got to do at Bar South is pull out the hundreds.
I bring drinks down to the boat. We get them drinks when they come in and then food later in the night, which has been awesome.
Fun, stressful. We're open from 4 a.m. till 11. We have split shifts. Usually we could go here till 2 a.m. with fueling and stuff, back-to-back fueling nights. It can get pretty crazy and rowdy around here, but it's a fun time.
Boardwalk best week of the year. These guys are awesome.
I love the atmosphere, the people, great connections I've made. It's a really fun time.
Why is it your best time of the year?
Look at it. Is there any place you'd rather be?
Coming up next, we'll sum up the 49th annual White Marlin Open.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, higher standards.
We took a few moments to talk to tournament director Andy Motzko, who gave us his thoughts on this year's White Marlin Open.
You know, every year is a different story, right? And we've had 49 different stories. And this is our 49th this year. And so early in the week, it was all tuna fish, large fish, 200 pounds plus. But when Wednesday finished, it was just tuna and dolphin and wahoo and no billfish, right? And we're the White Marlin Open. So we always root for some billfish. And there have been years where we don't get a blue or get a white, but we've never had a tournament where we didn't get one of those billfish. And so, not that I was worried, but it just was unprecedented. And then, of course, tonight, you know, we had a local boat come in, Duffy Boat Works, right there on 611, come in with a 77.5-pound white to take over first place there. And, you know, right now, that fish could be worth, you know, $4 million, $5 million. You know, we're gonna have to tally it all tonight. But just an amazing catch, and pretty cool. It's a local boat and a local guy, you know, Ocean City guy that did that.
And how would you sum up your crew here and the crowd?
Well, the crowds, I mean, I thought Monday was one of the greatest crowds we ever had until tonight, you know, when I looked at this crowd. And they bring so much energy to the tournament. You know, a lot of our guys fish and gals fish all over the world, and they tell us it's the crowds that make the White Marlin Open different. Yeah. And our crew has been phenomenal, you know, just a great professional crew. We got, you know, the catch and carry over here that are cutting up all the fish that are donated for the Maryland Food Bank. And of course, we have our dock crew that's been with us for many, many years and just do an amazing job.
Who was that gentleman you were talking to earlier?
That was John Dyer, and he's fishing our first White Marlin Open in 1974. And it was funny because they took him down to the inlet to see some of the boats coming in, and that was sort of nice for him. But he said, I want to go to the Ship's Cafe, which is what this was called in 1974. Harbor Island wasn't even here. It was a bar restaurant called the Ship's Cafe, little marina, and so they brought him up, and then, you know, we had Chuck and Jim Moscow come and greet him and all that, so that was sort of neat.
Coming full circle.
Yeah, I personally think it was one of the most, from our standpoint, one of the most well-run tournaments that we've had, and it makes me feel good because next year is going to be our 50th, and that's going to be a big deal.
Coming up next, your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine.
It's time now to take a look at the videos and pictures sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers. A tip of the cap to Brian Catlin from Nanacoke, Maryland, who needs a new hat. This is about the most worn Outdoors Delmarva hat we've ever seen. So Brian, we're gonna get you a new one, and we'll make sure that you have it before the Westside Outcasters Open in September. Hopefully it's as lucky as the last one. Well, that's going to wrap up another week of adventures for us. And Chuck, another White Marlin Open is in the books. Yeah. And I tell you what, We look forward every year to the fun and excitement that comes with it, and can't wait until next year.
Yeah, and we can't wait for a little vacation time, because just a programming note here, we're going to be on hiatus for the next 4 weeks, so enjoy some Best of Outdoors Delmarva. We'll be back with all new episodes in September. So until then, enjoy the rest of your summer. And for my partner here, Andrew Tawes, I'm Chopper Chuck Regner, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.